Hello everyone. So continuing on with some things that we need to discuss, I wanted to discuss hard drives today. Depending upon the age of your computer, depends upon the type of hard drive you have in it. New computers are transitioning over to solid state drives. I'll show you an example of those. But old computers, and this is really going to be for my clients that are still using CNC machines and computer aided and controlled, where you have to use XP. Some of the XP will use, it's not the latest technology, but a newer generation. So in the days of old, this was your hard drive. And I'm going to see if you can see it there. If you'll note, that is a pin setting. It was 40 pins across. This is old, heavy. The biggest one they made for IDE or PATA was 750 gigabytes. The nice thing about the older computer systems when using the ribbon is you could actually put two hard drives on the same ribbon. So on the older computers you can get a total of 4 IDE devices, and most of the time that was 2 to 3 hard drives and a CD-ROM. And the old CD-ROMs also have the PATA devices. They are slow because this is like old tech. There is technology that's older than this, but of course I don't have it. But you know, you had jumper settings. You had to tell one to be a master and the other one to be a slave, and so on and so forth. We hang on to these when we find them. For our older clients, like I said, who have Windows XP or older machines that need these hard drives, they don't last very long anymore. It's getting harder and harder to find them and harder to clone them. So eventually I won't be able to do these types of hard drives anymore. And I don't know what I'll do for those clients when that happens. So hopefully it won't happen for a long time. The step up to that, and most every computer has these now, well, most recent computers, is a SATA hard drive. It's physically the same size. This is the desktop version like the one I showed you, but your connections are different. If you could see there, it's double L's, back to back to each other. These are lighter, they're faster. They can go over the 750 gigabyte range. So like the ones I have on this desktop that I'm recording on has 2 8 terabyte hard drives in it. This one is just a terabyte. But you can see with this, it's faster. The data transfer is faster, and so on and so forth. So, and it's lighter. They last longer, but they are like anything else mechanical, because this is a mechanical drive. It's like the brakes on your, or the rotors on your car. They will wear out over time and need to be replaced. So the laptop version of that is a tried and true 2.5 inch. Has the same capabilities of the 3.5. Like I said, this goes in your laptop. See, same connections. They generally run slower because hard drives generate heat, so these run usually slower. And so it's to help keep the laptop cool. You really don't want a computer getting really hot. With the desktops in the corporate environment where they're running rack servers and so on and so forth, the speeds on these can run like 10,000 RPMs to get the speeds, but they generate a lot of heat. On a laptop, generally 5400 is the speed. The data transfer and all that, it's there. It's just that the revolutions per moment on the physical hard drives on the inside, or the physical platters on the inside. 54 is usually the standard. I've seen 7200s. I've only seen one laptop in all the years I've been doing this that has a 10,000 RPM laptop hard drive, and it rattled, and it was warm. You could probably, on a cold day, sitting in your car, set the laptop on your lap and keep you warm. So, but this is, you know, a standard 2.5 inch laptop hard drive. Now the replacement to that, this is where everyone is going. This is a 2.5 inch solid state hard drive. Has the same connectors as the one I just showed you, the same L shapes. These are designed to be the replacements for the mechanical drives. These are solid states. There are no moving parts in this. The speed on this is as fast as your computer can go, pretty much. You know, I don't want to say, you know, knock it and say these are rated for 6 gigabits, excuse me, per second data transfer speed. But if, you know, if your computer can't go that fast, obviously you're not going to get that speed. They do generate heat, but not a whole lot. I would show you this, but it is a sealed new hard drive, so I don't want to break the seal. But yeah, the disadvantage to solid state, though, is, well, there's two disadvantages. Since it's still relatively new, they're a little more pricey than mechanical drives. This is just how it is. It's kind of like an old car versus a brand new car. So these are a little more pricey. You get like a half of the space that you would. Like I said, this is a 500 gig. This is a 1 tera. This is $60. This is 80. But you're losing half of the space, but you're gaining the speed. So just something to remember. The newest iterations of this is this. These are the new solid state hard drives they're using in like Chromebooks and mini laptops and newer laptops now that we're seeing. You can get these in the desktop. This was pulled out of a desktop that went bad. Ironically, it is the Optane series. How Optane is relatively new technology for the companies, and to have one of these go bad, kind of surprising. If you ever see a computer that has the Optane series in here, let me give you a little bit of warning of this. If I can blow this up for you so you can see it, that is a 16 gigabyte SSD. 16 gigabyte SSD is worthless because the Windows 10 operating system requires almost 35 gigs. All this does is it puts a cache file on here and it boosts up the speed of the computer during operation, and that's all it does. You can store information on it, but you never see it in your operating system. It just shows up as a part of the primary drive because the two are linked. So this, like I said, as a 16 gigabyte hard drive, absolutely worthless on every computer but a Chromebook, because a Chromebook can use this. Like I said, this is just used to speed up the computer and make it a lot faster. They do make these types, and I wish I could show you in my computer, they do make these up to 1 tera. The new 2 terabytes are coming out. So for desktops that are capable of using these types of drives, definitely go that way, because you will notice the speed difference on your computer versus a mechanical drive. They go quicker, they store faster, but the fatal flaw for all SSDs, when they go bad, you get no warning. It's just, you boot up your computer and it'll say no operating system found or no hard drive found. Where with a mechanical drive, as long as the platters can spin, I can probably get your information off of it. On an SSD, once it's dead, it's dead. So if you have an SSD in your computer, and I know I just said this in a previous video where I recorded it, or read an article that said that SSDs are lasting 10 years, I call bull. And every other IT professional in the world that I interact with will tell you the same thing. 2 to 3 years, depending on how much are you using your computer. If you're using a laptop and you only turn it on like once a week or so, you'll get a lot more time out of it. But if you have a desktop like I've got here and it's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, years at a time, 2 to 3 years, and then they die. So make sure once you get to that 2-year mark, you start definitely backing up your stuff, or consider bringing it to us and we'll clone it. So the disadvantage to this also, we're coming into the Christmas season. I know it's October or September and I'm mentioning Christmas, but I want to bring this up to you. The big box stores, like I said, they get to buy computers and throw them away by a truckload. And we see this almost every year, that someone will go and buy a computer that's got Windows 10 on it, and they'll get it for $99 or $160, and it's just a little thing, but it's cheap, and they think, well, this is great, this is what it has in it, is a solid state hard drive. The problem to that is, this is where these manufacturing companies drive me insane, is these pop in and out on real computers and real desktops, so they could be changed out. On the cheap low end stuff, they weld that to your motherboard. They solder it in, so it can't be changed out, can't be replaced. If it dies, it dies. You replace the whole computer, you don't replace the component, which absolutely infuriates me, because a few years back, HP and Dell both did this. They introduced minis In fact, I got one over here on the workbench, but I changed out the hard drive on it because I could. That one had the interface where I could, but we've seen way too many of these where Dell and HP put out these new mini laptops. They're like 11 inches. They're really, really cute. They're fast, but they have 32 gigabytes of hard drive space. That's it. And it's welded to the motherboard. So we can't change them out. We can open up and we'll see it's welded. There's nothing we can do. Remember, the Windows operating system generally takes 35 gigs. They have a 32 gig hard drive in it. It's worthless in 3 months. So just remember that if you're out Christmas shopping this year, watch for that. Look to see how big that hard drive is that's listed on the packaging. Minimal. If you're using Windows 10, minimum 100 gigs. Trust me, it'll be a lifesaver, because if you go to something smaller than that, you're just going to have problems, and you'll end up bringing it to me, and I may or may not be able to fix it. So that's my little tutorial on hard drives. I'll do a little tutorial on processors and what you should watch for through the coming years, and do a little bit of research. But yeah, the greatest thing they've ever created so far. But manufacturers, when they weld them to the boards, the main boards, that's really designed to use it, die, replace it. It's all about making money. So anyways, I'm going to play an outro here. You guys have a great day. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. There's a donation link. Talk to you later.